Dun 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 dun. Dun 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 dun. Somebody's already losing their noodle and wetting their diaper even before they play one single football game in the SEC this year. Let's talk about it. This is the home of the Common Joe and the Common Sally in the know, even more so than all those media talking heads. Now, here they come once again, riding on in. It's the Outlaw Posse. Now, in effect, in today's Four Horsemen shout-outs go to J.D. Wilmoth, Zach Hamner, Sheldon Lamey, Eric Taco Marino. By the way, keep your prayers out there for Eric Taco Marino. His stepmother is very ill right now. So if y'all don't mind, shoot him and his family some prayers. Also, I can be found on Twitter, aka X, at OCF Productions. Now, if you want to get your badge and get deputized and get your random Four Horseman shout like they just did, all you got to do is hit that join button next to the subscribe button. It's not $2.99 a month. That's just 75 cents a week. That's just a half a bottle of water for the Outlaw. And you'll be deputized. Now, getting right to it here. Seems like we got a little fracas going on about the whole horns down thing again. I thought we had put this to rest, but I guess not. I guess Texas is still wetting their diapers quite profusely, as I said in the lead up. And they're continuing to have issues and coming to grips with just a little bit of, chicanery, a little bit of just playing around kind of deal. As you can see, that old lady, even the old lady can attest to the fact that it's not that big of a deal, Texas. It's really not, brother and sisters out there in Austin. I mean, the SEC, to me, is not really doing Texas any favors by making this a public thing until they really analyze this whole situation. From what I've heard from one of my podcast partners, Jonathan Lewis, by the way, check his channel out, Neckbeard Sports. He's got a video on that today as well. And from what I'm understanding, Greg Sankey wasn't the one that really signed off on this. There's some powers that be that are over him that I was not aware of, that they're going to have to sit down and really look at this thing and see if just generally putting the horns down on the sidelines or somewhere like that is a penalty. Should it be a penalty if you just do it on the sidelines, or you have to get up in someone's face and maybe antagonize them and incite them? My argument is I don't think this is doing Texas any favors. Texas may not care. They may not even care about this. Actually, the majority of the Texas fans I talk to, it don't really bother them. It's the boosters and the upper echelon of the Texas administration, the soy boys out there in Austin, that seem to think it's okay for them to, do the little horns up, but nobody can do horns down. That's another thing. If horns down is going to be a penalty, horns up should be too. But instead of singling Texas out, as much as the SEC did, and doing them no favors and making them the punchline and the ridicule of the day, because believe me, they're absolutely going to be looked upon as a clown on this very day and going forward if this thing continues and it stands. They're not doing Texas any favors. What they should do is say, hey, anybody, no matter what the hand gesture is, no matter what they're doing, whether they're breakdancing or moonwalking in front of somebody, if you get up in front of somebody, get in their face, and try to antagonize them, that's a penalty. If you throw any kind of hand gesture in somebody's face, if you point in their face, if you do the old crotch chop DX style in their face, that should be a penalty. If you flip them the bird in their face, that should be a penalty. No, they had to single it out, and they had to microcosm it down to make it all about Texas. And while some Texas fans may be okay with that, I have a feeling a lot of Texas are probably cringing for their own administration, and that they didn't have to just make it about Texas. They could have just said, hey, if you get in somebody's face, you do some hand gestures, it's a penalty. And leave it at that. Instead, they single Texas out, thinking they're doing Texas a favor, when in reality they're not. And it's already been murmured about that maybe they're placating to Texas a little too much. They already give them a pretty easy schedule to start the year. Their first road game is in Nashville on the SEC. I watched them lose to Vanderbilt. No, Vanderbilt actually got a winning record against them. They're like 8-2 against Texas or something like that. I have to look it up, but it's a nice little winning percentage against Texas. But it was done back in the 19-teens. But I don't think this is a good look for Texas coming in. New boy already demanding, wanting things. People warned us about this. I didn't think the SEC would acquiesce so quickly. But it looks like that some of the Big 12 people were actually right about this, that, Texas is going to come in and try to dictate things. And not only that, but, as mentioned, their schedule looks a little bit easier than Oklahoma's coming in as the other new member. And the other thing that makes it look like the SEC's placating to Texas is they moved the SEC Media Days to Dallas. Now, if I'm not mistaken, y'all can correct me on this if I'm wrong, but the SEC Media Days has been in Birmingham forever. All of a sudden, Texas comes in and you change the venue to their state. I mean, if you're going to try to make it easier for them to get there and attend, then put it somewhere in between. If you don't want it in Birmingham, move it over to, New Orleans. Somewhere like that, in between. I know that then people will bitch about LSU having it in their state. But at least it would be in between the Texas schools and the old school SEC schools. In the end, this is just not a good look for Texas at all. So let's go ahead and get to the comment. The comment of the day goes to J.D. Wilmoth, who gets a double dip. He got his name come up for the Four Horsemen shout out, and it just happens that he is the comment of the day as well. Congratulations. J.D. Wilmoth says, Linky Boy probably doesn't care. He's still going to get paid. I wonder how much of that 10-year contract is fully guaranteed. Once again, I want to thank USC for taking Tebow, TBOW, that stands for the bitch out west, because we wouldn't have stood a chance going into the Southeastern Conference with him as a coach, and finally received a notification that you dropped a video. Imagine that. Yeah, people have been having problems with my videos not getting notified for whatever reason. I don't know what to tell y'all about that. But, yeah, that is the comment of the day. And with that's all I got. If you don't mind, there's a little heart option down here at the bottom with the money dollar sign in the middle. If you want to make a one-time donation to the program, smash that heart. Also, you'll see down here in my scroll, I also have Venmo and Cash App if you want to cut the middleman out. Also, like I said earlier, you can join the Outlaw Posse for $2.99 a month. That's 75 cents a week. You'll get your badge. You'll get deputized. You get a random Four Horsemen shout out on the podcast, as well as possibly the comment of the day. Like, share, comment, and subscribe to this channel. This is the Big Four, and they're all absolutely free. Gets this party crunk. That I'm out of here. KMCA to all the other teams. Class is now officially dismissed.